I'm really about the right shit, bro. And I can say that as much as I want to, but it's almost gonna be more me showing y'all. But like, bro, I have no literally outside motivation, or I have literally no other like. There's no ego that comes involved. Like, I want to win, bro.
Welcome to another episode of Thanalysis show with your one and only Thanasis, Antetokounmpo, and Tony C.
What up, what up, what up?
Today we have a very, very special guest. But before we go to our guest, remember to always like, share, subscribe. And we can't do this without our sponsors. Remember, it's Thanalysis presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call.
That's all.
That's all. Want to thank President Wine Company. Always subscribed they are to be supporting us from the beginning of the show. The season is our second season, going to our third season now. So really appreciate that. You know, want to thank Potawatomi Casinos and Hotels. Whenever you're in Milwaukee, you need a place to stay. You need a hotel to stay. Trust me, great service, great entertainment, and you might win some money. You know, it's fun. And last but not least, I'm loving it. McDonald's in the building. Back to the show. Okay. So now I do the intro for Myles, right? Okay. So now we got to give the intro for Myles, and you know I got to do it the basketball way. Winning number 3 from our Milwaukee Bucks, Myles, the cat dad, Turner.
Talk up, man. Talk up.
First of all, thank you so much for doing the show. And I was, you know what? Even though when you played for the Pacers, I was like, no, this is the guy I really want to tell him to come to the show. But I was like, we're in the playoffs now.
Yeah, it was beef for real.
There are a lot of players throughout the league, you know, as you go over the course of a season since we started the show. So we started the show in like February or March, the first time y'all met in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There are a lot of players I thought we'd have come through. Not one of them was wearing a Pacers jersey at the time.
No.
I didn't think we were getting anyone from that team.
I think so I would say my top 3 on the list from the Pacers who love to get on the pod was Myles. Obviously Tyrese, just because, you know, he's from Wisconsin. So that was big for the people in Wisconsin. I feel like kind of see, so because everybody, you know, like even though we have the, you know, thing, they're rooting for him. So we'll get to that. I want to ask a couple of questions about that as well. And the other guy was going to be like Pascal Siakam too. Oh, I know Obi, obviously, because I know Obi. But Pascal, because, like, you know, his transition, he left Toronto. He was in Toronto so long. And I was like, okay, you know, him coming to, like, leave and go to the Pacers, you know. So, but before we do that, today we're gonna have something special, right? We have a surprise for you.
We have some props for today's show.
Yeah. So.
Very on brand. Someone did their research.
A little bit.
So we're gonna. I'm gonna while we talk, while we're having a conversation, I'm gonna try to see if we can try to
get those done.
Get through a build? Yeah. That's easy work.
Yeah.
I feel like Myles is going to get this done in about 15 minutes, and we're going to be sitting here at the end and be like,
probably.
All right.
So
if the camera's not zoomed in, we got a Star Wars one for Myles.
Yeah, it's a mech, man. Got a little Luke Skywalker mech. You feel me?
Yeah. And I have a Harry Potter one. Obviously, big fan of Harry Potter.
I'm a big Harry Potter guy too.
Are you? Yeah, really?
Yeah, my girl got me into it.
Okay.
It's dope.
So this is what I want to ask, right? Now we're going to Legos, right? And big Lego guy. I've heard different things about Legos. Obviously, being a collector, being, you know, like just having this like childhood memory for other people. And I've heard one more thing, like therapeutic too. I've heard that as well. What is it for you? How do you feel?
It's a lot for me, man. You know, I got started when I was real young. My dad, you know, surprised me with sets when I was a kid. You know, the first sets were called Bionicles, and they were based like these robots, but they all had different abilities and weaponry and all that type of stuff. So you kind of like battle with them and whatnot. And then I came up with a different upbringing than most. Like, I actually really wasn't allowed to watch TV and stuff like that. I wasn't allowed to play video games. So like especially during the school year, you know, summertime was one day, but during school I wasn't allowed to do anything. So I basically had to find ways to, honestly, entertain myself and just find ways to, you know, get creative expression out there. And that was through Lego. So I would be at my friend's house, whatnot. They'd be playing Halo. Then I'd be in the back room just building, like by myself, like in a room. Wow. You know what I mean? Just finding ways to, again, like express myself and just whether it was ships, cities, you know, whatever. You know, let's put stuff together. So as I got older, transition, you know, I got drafted at 19. It was kind of the same thing, bro. It's just an easy way to stay out of trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going to Indy, there wasn't too much to do, but I was, again, a way to entertain myself, and I just started whether you have a good game, a bad game, whatever, you come home, you get about an hour to yourself, kind of shut the world out, just do what you do.
Yeah. Do you have what's your way of building Legos? What do you do first? What's the first thing you do?
So I build, but also collect as well.
Okay.
So the biggest thing for me is I like looking at sets, one that's gonna give me a challenge, right? Like 100 pieces, I can get this done by the time this podcast is over. Right?
That's the goal. That's what I want. I want to see the master at work. That's what
go.
But I go for the 5,000 to 10,000 piece plus sets because the challenge I'm currently working on right now. So it's a Death Star, just came out from Star Wars. It's 9,000 pieces, right? 9,000 pieces. That right there, it puts my brain to work, puts my mind to work, but also it's nostalgic, right? Because I love all the movies, and as you'll see the movies come to life. Like I remember that's the car that got stuck in, or they kind of flew in Harry Potter and whatnot. It's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Is there one you haven't done or haven't come across that you want? Like I've seen college football stadiums and people do those or things like that. Are there any of those that you are what's next? Kind of what you're on the market for to build?
There's an aquarium coming out. That's gonna be pretty cool. It literally looks like a whole bunch of fish and whatnot. They move around. It's kind of an aesthetic piece around the house, and that's another thing too, man. Lego's done a good job of finding different sets that not only kids can play with, but adults can build and actually put around the house. They have Lego flowers, botanical collection and whatnot. And there's literally something for everybody out there. That's why I never understand when people hate on it, because you kind of hate from the outside. You never tried it. You're judging it, without even giving it a shot. So,
I feel like they made a comeback too. I feel like 10 years ago, maybe when you had started, or you've been doing this for a while, but I don't remember being at a store and seeing Lego aisles, and now you do, and it's one of those things people are just very into, and you said collectors, things like that. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, there's things called intellectual properties, right? It's the IPs, whether it's Star Wars or Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. They've done a great job conceptualizing stuff from all the movies and whatnot, and getting a whole bunch of different fan lore. So I mean, they've been able to kind of just encapsulate a lot of people's different minds and attention, with that.
So if you weren't all world at basketball, would you have gone into architecture or something like that?
So architecture was really fun. It was one thing that I went to as a kid. Then I realized math was involved, and I was like, you know what, man? I'm gonna let y'all keep that one.
That's fair enough.
I love to draw as a kid. Creative expression was something my parents really, put in me as a child, and I just kind of took it and ran with it.
You know what, Tony? I was gonna.
You already given up?
Yeah, I was gonna do this.
Oh man, come on, bro.
I am, but I want to ask so many questions. I've had 4 or 5 questions, but I wanted to let him finish.
Focus on that.
So the first question, you said something, going to Indy, right? And you've been apart from Giannis, right? You've been the only guy who's been in the whole team for so long, bro. Yeah. And you've always heard your name, trade rumors, or he's gonna leave, he's gonna stay. Right, and then all of a sudden, this during the summer. By the way, we was on stage when you were announced. Oh, wow. By the way, yeah, we was on stage,
live show in front of thousands of people.
In Greece, yes.
And then the texts come through.
Yeah, and everybody's phone is buzzing. Everybody's like, "Oh, you just got Myles Turner." We're like, "What? Really?" And this is what I want to know. How was this so quiet? How I don't see that from a lot of people. I see that from. From with us, it works that way, and we kind of, have a kind of a way of doing things. But of course, how is that so quiet and so
Well, it was hard, bro. Honestly, because obviously, you go through the frustration of losing in the NBA Finals and whatnot, right? And I was actually on vacation when I was going through the free agency process, so I was in Hawaii. Mind you, I'm 5-6 hours behind the entire States itself, right? Yes. So times was all messed up and whatnot. And, it was interesting. Nobody knew what was going on except for me and my girlfriend at the time, because we were the only ones that were together, and my agent, obviously. Mm-hmm. This is my first free agency experience, right? I've always heard crazy stories in the past of people, going through it or whatnot. Yeah. But this is my real experience with it. And when they say this league is definitely a business, bro, I full on got that experience this summer and whatnot. I think that I had a vision for myself, with Indiana, the organization, and things just didn't go the way I had foresaw it, and foreseen it. And the way things kind of transpired, I had to keep, everything under my belt. None of my teammates knew what was going on. My family barely knew what was going on, because, I wanted this truly to be my process or whatnot. Mm-hmm. They supported everything that I did. But when John had reached out and presented the situation and whatnot, I was elated because like one, it was an organization at that time that saw the potential in me and wanted to value me for where I was in my career. And when I was in Indiana, I took a very team-friendly rookie extension, and I took an even more team-friendly, extension off.
Yes,
that.
you did. Yes, you did. Yeah.
So for me personally, I was, I'm 29 years old. I'm coming off some of my better years in the league, and I was like, this is the time for me that I needed to, secure, even more wealth for my family. And when our visions didn't align, it was very frustrating. And I had to take the emotions out of it and realize it was a business. They were doing what was best for them. And then again, the situation, what was best for me. Obviously the money was a great part of it, but I also saw a competitive fire and a competitive spirit in this squad that one had been bouncing the playoffs in the past few years, but have won a championship before. Yeah. And obviously the opportunity to play with Giannis was huge too. That was a big glaring thing for me. Is just, to line myself probably one of the best players of all time. You know what I mean?
No, this is big. It's big. I don't know, Tony, if you want to. I do have one.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so this is the dynamics of of the business, right? On the NBA, and he comes to people as a shock, like, oh, look what happened. Like Myles just signed with another team, but in reality, like me saying it from looking from the outside, like. It was bound to happen at some point, right? And I'm not saying about Myles. Like, how could you keep all of these guys together? Like, somebody would have to, get paid. Somebody would be disgruntled. Somebody else would be like, it's my turn to get paid. Or like somebody would have to give. You know, but I don't think people expected it was going to be you.
Well, to your point,
to the value, you know what I mean? Like they're saying, like that's our Myles Turner. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how the Bucks say that's our Giannis. That's our kind of.
That's what I was expecting. To your point, so. Not last year, but the year before last, when we went to the Eastern Conference Finals, we had, I think it was 7 guys in a contract year.
Yeah.
That's unheard of, bro, for people to all come together and say, hey, collectively have the mindset of like, I'm here to win, and if we win, everybody will get taken care of. I think Obi Toppin was in a contract year. Pascal was in a contract year. TJ McConnell was in a contract year. Aaron Nesmith was in a contract year. And I can go down the list, but you go through that. We had a great run. Everybody got taken care of. Everybody got paid because we won. Then you go to the next year, we surpassed what we did. We go to the finals. Yeah. And all everybody told me was, Myles, just keep your head down. You keep your head down and work, and then you're going to get taken care of. And then you hear the rumors of, Indiana, we're going to go into the luxury tax for the first time ever, yada, yada.
Okay. That's a good thing, no? That was we're doing it for basically we're doing it for Myles, we're doing it for the team, for the city.
Right, and everybody gassed me up all year long and said, you're going to get taken care of, you're going to get taken care of. And then, the unfortunate situation happens in the finals with Tyrese. And then I guess the front office and, ownership just basically changed their mind and was like, we told you all these things, or you helped us get to the finals and Eastern Conference Finals, and we had to pivot. And that's basically what the sentiment was. And, we were just very far apart on, our what we thought the future should be.
I got you. I got you. No, that's how they say, Tony, business is business.
Yeah, it is a business. I mean,
business is business.
You aside, one of the faces of the franchise for 10 years. Yeah. You look at, I think it's like Steph, Giannis, it was you in Indiana, and like Book out in Phoenix. Yeah. But like if Klay Thompson can be in another uniform, anyone can be in another uniform at this point. Like the way it works out. But Myles, one of the things that fascinates me is you said you were in Hawaii when all this went down. Yeah. GM of the Bucks, John Horst, calls you. So there was I think people after that summer where it was like LeBron and Wade and Bosh going on these massive visits, I think people always think like, you come to the city, you get chauffeured around, and you check out
the banana boat, the whole thing.
Yeah, the whole banana thing, right? They had, I forgot who it was. They had Tom Brady meet him at Fenway Park and come out and do the whole deal. But it's Gordon Hayward when he signed with the Celtics. They laned it out for him. But so that you were just in Hawaii, you talked to John, you didn't talk to anyone else in the organization, and you just. It felt like the right decision?
Yeah, honestly, bro, it was really just John. And then I got connected with, a couple people in ownership afterwards. Okay. But it was just me, John, my agent, and obviously, my girlfriend at the time because she was, there with me. And yeah, bro, that was really just the dream team that made it work. I think that, no one could have saw what was coming with Dame. You know what I mean? I feel like he obviously was is a generational player, and it's like, obviously meant a lot to the organization here just because of who he is as a person, his work ethic, and, what he's accomplished in this league. But it ended up working out best for both sides because, you're able to waive and stretch him, and then he's able to go back to Portland and still get paid, where his kids are, where his family is. And
I'm proud of him. He's happy. Like,
He's
Yeah.
happy.
True.
I think that's the most important
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Like,
he's
and
very
it
happy.
shows, like, he's
Yeah.
very happy.
You can tell, so of course, like, it's a little awkward at first because, of the situation and, coming into enemy territory at that. But again, it was very beneficial for both sides. And I really think John did an incredible job of making that work, for each party,
Love that.
Yeah, and very, very quiet, very stealth, as they say, very like smooth.
Well, there's rumors about every single player
Yeah, but
except you, and then it pops off to
Exactly.
Milwaukee.
That's how it happens
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
So my question was gonna be the observation was gonna be we had something similar in the past. Obviously not 7 players in a year that have got paid, but we had the kind of our throughout the whole season, like with the Bucks, it was almost like a college thing with Brooke,
You guys were here forever.
Chris, Drew, Bobby. Bobby has gotten so many friendly deals for him to stay. That's why we love him so much. Like same thing with Brooks. Same thing with like it was a lot of guys, and we've always had like this kind of hierarchy, right? It was always like, it's Drew turn, Chris,
Yeah.
Bobby,
That's how it's
give
supposed to
it
be.
time, and then Pat would come, Pat,
yeah.
Brooke, let's take care of Brooke. It was always 1 or 2 guys, or maybe a year. It was never a lot of guys at one time. But then now this is going to be my next question for you. What's your most favorite thing now here in Milwaukee? Like I saw you was together at the game with the Brewers.
I've done quite a
and
bit,
you were like, I love baseball and stuff like that. Like, what's your thing now in Milwaukee that you're like, I'm excited about this?
Yeah, it's a couple things, bro. One, obviously the water's dope. The lake looks like the damn ocean.
Yeah.
Got a few of that, man. It's pretty sick. I go out there, I walk all the time. It's just nice to kind of get outside. It's refreshing. I'm a big foodie, and one thing I love about just the Midwest in general is the farm to table food that you have here and whatnot, right? You have plenty of fresh ingredients, fresh, fresh picks and whatnot, and that's dope. Me and my girl went to Apple Orchard. I think it was Apple Holler like that the other day.
I saw pictures of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we was down the interstate, and that's fun. We enjoy getting outside, doing fall things like that. Sports here is obviously huge. I mean, the sports culture here is insane.
Yep.
Just how hard Wisconsinites go for their teams and whatnot. That was sick. I do love beer, but during the season it's a little bit tough to get that and whatnot. So when I first got here, I was able to kind of go around a little bit, try some different local stuff. I mean, everybody talks about Spotted Cow. I mean, that's a good one, obviously, but I think Line of Kugels is pretty fire too. Like that one. And yeah, man, just kind of trying to immerse myself with the culture, man, because I think that it's a big commitment to go out and get me, and sign me here. So I'm just trying to reciprocate that same energy. Just a sense of, just sense of, family, and this is gonna be my home for the next few years. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knows that I'm in it for the long haul.
You mentioned being a
100%.
foodie.
By the way, when he said, I don't want to interrupt. When he said beer, the only thing I could think about was Stone Cold. 1 beer, what?
Cold, yeah.
2 beer, what? 3 beers, what?
Well,
I can see that towards the end.
Maybe around like middle of June.
No, we go all the way. If we go all the way, I swear, if we go all the way, when we go all the way, when we go all the way,
when we go all the way.
Every beer company in the state will be knocking on your door.
Yeah.
Make sure that you,
That's what I'm talking about.
you wanted to.
what I was gonna say, just speaking of the food scene here in Milwaukee, not even like restaurant specific, but in sports, I know you're just a sports fan. When you win the Masters, when you go back the next year, you pick the food for all the players. So if you were doing like a team dinner for the Milwaukee Bucks, from apps to entrees to dessert and drinks, what would be your picks for this team?
Dude, I love barbecue. So I'm a Texas boy at the end of the day.
Yep.
And I make sure everybody gets right with that cuisine.
Yep.
I think just for apps and whatnot, and mind you, like when I say barbecue, it's a very broad, statement, if you will. Like I like more like Creole barbecue, whatnot. Make sure you get some fried gator. That's a good one. You just start off with some good sauce, maybe some ramen with that. Gotta get your hush puppies in there as a fire too. And then when you go to the barbecue, you gotta get your ribs. I mean, it's different everywhere you go. I think me personally, I don't love just smothering my ribs in barbecue sauce. I like more just like the actually, the tenderness of it all.
Like
so
a
you
good
have that.
smoked one?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Good smoked, and you dip as you go. Love brisket. Brisket's probably like my favorite cut. So you gotta get a nice lean ass cut of brisket. Gotta get your size too, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make sure you compliment it right. Get your mac and cheese. You know what's funny? I just came across this, and this is gonna be just a random thought. So you have macaroni and cheese, right? Is it called mac because it's macaroni and cheese, or is it just called mac because it's short for macaroni? Think about it. Macaroni and cheese.
It's
Mac.
both. It got to be both.
Or short for mac. Anyway, so you got your coleslaw.
No,
you
see,
got
this
your-
is-
That's true.
That's part of the
That's
show.
mumbling. No,
I've never thought of it that way.
yeah, but
bro, it
it's
messed me
both.
up today.
It has to be both.
It messed me up today. I had no earthly idea because, I always thought it was short. I was like, is it an acronym? I don't know.
Get some mac. Now you say mac, you might mean McDonald. Like, no, let me get some mac. Let me get some macaroni and cheese. You know.
I don't know, man. But yeah, and dessert, you finish with some peach cobbler, man. Get some nice vanilla bean on top. So yeah, get the good little barbecue cuisine in there.
The only thing I
TA
love
gives me a
about
hard time on the show because I like talk about food probably more than basketball.
No.
Like, this is a bad question.
So the question was it was like he asked me like, what's your favorite place in the States and to eat? So obviously I've never been out in Texas, but I know barbecue and stuff. So I've never ate in Texas, but I went to New Orleans.
Oh yeah,
and one of my favorite like dishes was turkey necks.
Okay.
I'm like, man, I swear to God, I had like a 3 because
you had to like do like 3 or 4 orders of them. Right?
Yeah, because they don't have a lot of meat though. Because it's turkey neck, so it's mostly bone. But the meat, like the way they cook it.
You like turkey leg, bro? I got to take it to Houston. It's called Turkey Leg Hut. That's a joint right there. Turkey leg.
No,
Hut.
turkey neck. Turkey neck.
Oh,
yeah, turkey neck.
But all right, for sure.
Turkey neck.
Somewhere in Houston's got it. For
Houston?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
They got the same type of.
Oh yeah, we going there. We going there. Now this is the thing.
Turkey neck. I'm not gonna lie. I've never had turkey neck
Yes.
before.
We're going.
All right,
New Orleans.
Yeah.
So
put me
I
on.
have 2 things.
Okay.
When we go to New Orleans, we're going for turkey neck to
Word.
try, and we got to go to Green Bay. Have you ever been in Green Bay, Pikers?
I just went to the game. Yeah, I haven't been around, but I just like got in and out with the game.
Oh, they are like, it's something that I want to go. I'm telling Tony, I'm like, hey, I got to go to the game. He's like, man, because I do believe, like, if I grew up in the States, I probably would try to play football too. Like, for sure.
You can
If you
definitely.
were in the States, you were
sure,
one of the best defensive
I'll
ends,
try.
tight
Oh
Oh my
ends.
god! Yeah.
I was
Got
talking
so much
about,
energy, dude.
what was the guys I like? You remember like when I was talking about Seattle Seahawks? What was the guy I liked? Was it Earl Thomas?
It was Earl Thomas
Like
as
just
a safety,
ringing
and then Richard Sherman was
He's a
their
Sherman
quarterback.
cornerback
yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that, like kind of on defense. But okay, you being this competitor, right? And was there any moments like, either the Pacers or before you get drafted? Because I do want to ask you, like, how did you get drafted? Like, because I have,
man.
like, how did you get drafted? How do you end up in Indiana? First of all,
Yeah. Well, the draft process is interesting, bro, because I went to University of Texas, obviously, and I didn't necessarily like play like my best basketball there. You know what I mean? But it's funny, man, because like we'll start a little bit earlier. So my junior year of high school, which in America is very important, that summer.
Okay.
That's when all the scouts come to watch you play in that summertime and whatnot. All the college coaches. I broke my ankle, and
Wow.
I was out for 8 months, bro. And it's funny how God works, bro, because at that time I was so burnt out. Like I was playing for 3 or 4 teams at one time. I was basically felt like I was living my dad's dream instead of mine. You know what I mean? Like I
Really?
was real burnt out in the game.
because your dad but did I play basketball? Who?
So my dad, he's
Okay.
from Queens, New York, and their basketball culture, as you know, in New York is huge. You know what I mean? So he grew up, had hoop dreams as well, but he actually broke his femur.
Okay.
So one of it, you'll see him around, like one of his legs is shorter than the other. So he kind of like has like a little like gimp when he walks. So it basically ended his career, right? He played in high school, but he couldn't take it further than that because of injuries. So he had dreams of going to the league one day and everything. And, obviously it's a beautiful thing now. He gets to live vicariously through me.
Yes.
But yeah, bro, I was burnt out. I just kind of was done with basketball. Would go home, complain to my sisters every day, like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know what I mean? And then I broke my ankle. And it's funny, when you have the game taken away from you in such a traumatic way, it makes you appreciate it, as you know.
So much, bro. So much. Like I'm just blessed to be around you guys, bro. Every game, every practice.
It makes you appreciate it that much more, man. So after that, I missed that summer, right? And then again, like nobody really knew who I was. I was unranked. And that next summer, bro, I basically went crazy. Like I went from unranked to like number 89 to like all the way up to number 2 ranked player in the country. Because I started busting ass, bro. No one knew who I was.
So that was the summer after your junior year then?
Yeah, no, sorry. So I broke my sophomore summer going into my junior year.
Yeah, so you missed
and
that summer
Missed
going
that
into
summer.
junior
So
year,
my
gotcha.
junior year going to senior year, that's when I came on the scene. That's when I started, going to all the Nike camps and, started just, like I said, just got fresh on the scene and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I went from unranked to number 2 player, right? So I put a huge target on my back, obviously, right? People who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean? So yeah, bro. So I went from there. I got heavily recruited by every school in the nation. Decided to stay home. The loyal guy decided to stay home at the University of Texas. And yeah, bro. I got there, and that tested every inch of my soul at that school, bro. The head coach at the time, was Rick Barnes, and we had 2 very differentiating views on the game and whatnot. But again, you know, it was one of the best.
Was it more of the way the game is played, or was it more a culture thing? Because you know what I mean. Like, sometimes you meet people and you're like, okay, we might not agree, but it's basketball is basketball. It's universal. But sometimes it's a culture thing too. Like,
it's a combination, bro. One, I was just so dominant in high school. I didn't have to know how to play basketball, right? I can just shoot over people, block shots, you know, shoot my threes. In college, you got to kind of know how to play the game.
And people are in the paint. People like, it's big bodies. Everybody's good. Everybody's good.
I'd say that the transition for me was harder going from high school to the league than it was, high school to college than it was for me going college to the NBA.
Yeah.
People were bigger, faster, stronger, right? Obviously. And, you know, bro, I was skinny, uncoordinated, trying to, you know, figure my shit out. I wore fucking size 18 shoes and I was 15 years old. So I couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. Like, was
size
trying to figure
18?
it out. Yeah, I'm still 18. I've worn an 18 since I was 15 years old, bro. So, like, I was just trying to figure it out, man. But anyways, so the draft process is interesting because I decided to leave school early. You know, I stayed 1 year. And again, I kind of had one of those, like, do I belong in the NBA? Like, I didn't have a good year at Texas. You know, people are, you know, talking shit about me. I'm going to be a second-round pick, blah, blah, blah. Bro, I locked in so hard, bro, for 3 months. It was just me and my dad, bro. We went to, you know, obviously the support of my mother as well, but in person, it was just me and my dad. We went to Las Vegas.
Okay.
I was there for 3 months straight, bro, 2 days, like working on my body every single day. And it was me, Kristaps Porzingis, Rakeem Christmas, and a few other guys. And we were the group. And, bro, I just killed every draft workout I had, bro. Like, I think I had like 8 or 9 draft workouts, which is a lot for a lottery pick, you know what I mean? But
it is a lot for a lottery pick because if you think about it, they already got the pick set. So now you really got to just smoothen out the process and say, like, I got my top 1, top 2, top 3. That's it.
Most lottery picks probably do 3, maybe 4.
Exactly.
I know you did what, 18?
I did 18, but I was just want to get drafted. I didn't care if it was 1 or 60th, bro. I did 18 of them, and guess where I got drafted? The Knicks, my first workout. I could have done one and be over.
Oh my
with.
God, I got a great story about my Knicks workout.
Go.
No, I did about 8 or 9 workouts, bro, and like 3 of them were individuals, which are the hardest ones because just literally you against you, all the eyes are on you and whatnot.
Yeah, they're watching every move. Then you can't really.
But the workouts that I had other people in, like there were people who I had targets. You know what I mean? Frank Kaminsky was like the college player of the year that year. So all the eyes were on him. And he was in a couple of my workouts. So I knew if I aligned with him, the eyes would be on him. But if I go out there and do well, it's like, wait, who is this kid? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So my agent strategically placed me in basically all the workouts with him. Like there was like 3 workouts with him and whatnot. And I just went at him like every single chance I had to. The Knicks workout was an individual workout.
Okay.
And Phil Jackson was there, right? And
Philly,
man, you see what I'm saying? Like I was hyped, bro. I was like, man, Phil Jackson, man, he's a legend. He's the GOAT. Da 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 da. Bro, I get there, and I mind you, bro, it was probably like 20 minutes into the workout. He's over here. Nods off on the side. I'm like, oh, I must be ass, bro. Listen, he don't give a fuck about me. Like,
no. But at that time, you were like
I knew what it was, bro. You know, he's obviously a little bit older and whatnot. So, but I mean, I took it personal. I was like, God, like, what the hell, like.
Nah.
But no, man, it was a great process for me, bro, because I was able to learn a lot about myself.
Yes.
And then knew that I was capable of, you know, making this league. And obviously go to summer league, get drafted by the Pacers, go to summer league, and like the rest is history.
Yes. You know that year. So you're the same year as Kristaps then.
Yeah.
So that year, I got drafted the year before that.
You were the
year before that.
Prior.
And you know, Phil Jackson drafted me. I told you this. You know, like, oh, you look like Dennis Rodman, Tyrese. He was like, that was his comparison. Like, to just keep working, get in the gym. I like he's like the spirit and the tenacity. He was like, we work everything else out. And then the second year, he came to the office and he said, I found the next Paul Gasol. And I was like, who is he talking about? That's why he was only, not even joking, like working out guys who were tall could shoot, space the floor, but nobody knew him because at the time, you remember like Tim Hardaway got traded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And this is the story that's when I knew business is business. We're all sitting in a table watching in Walt Frazier, like Mr. Frazier's restaurant. So we're all there, all Knicks kind of, you know what I'm saying? We're watching the draft, you know, Malik Moutier, blah, 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 everyone kind of, you remember? Yeah. Kind of the whole thing. So we're watching the draft and then phone, you know, a couple of phones are ringing, blah, 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 etc. And I see Tim, he stands up, he goes out. I don't think anything of it. You know, I'm not from here. I'm just enjoying the food. I'm like, New York is New York. You know, I'm not. So I'm looking again. I'm like, oh, European guy, great. I'm like, you know, good. Everybody's just shook. I don't know why. So I go upstairs and everybody's kind of talking to Tim, like, hey, man, don't even worry about that. Like, He's like, man, I just got traded, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I tagged kind of Clay Anthony earlier at the time. I was like, hey, what's going on? I really don't. He's like, I traded. He says, yeah, I just got traded. And I said, they could just trade you and not say nothing to you? You know, I'm not like, he was like, yeah, he's going to a better place. And then he killed it. You know, he went to Atlanta, he killed it. And it came right back after like a year and a half. But like, that's so crazy that this is the NBA that is the journey intertwined. Stuff like this. This is insane.
Well,
so okay,
with Myles' story too. So you mentioned Frank. So I'm a Badger and I was there with him.
Okay.
And you know had workouts with him. His career, he bounced around a little bit. Obviously, you got drafted, but he still went 2 slots before you into a situation that, I mean, historically, going to Charlotte, especially probably then, not the greatest situation in the world. You drop even after your workouts and end up in a great spot with Indiana. So like it really sometimes.
But Tony, let me say something about that, and I really believe that. I do believe it's a 60-40% of it, because 60% is like you go to a situation, and sometimes you're AJ, you just make it a good spot. It don't matter how they, you know what I'm saying. It don't matter if it's a winning team or not a winning team. You know, and Myles made it his spot. He could have be there and be complacent.
True.
There's one thing about the NBA, you know, like you don't always have to be very animated, but you definitely have to have this spirit of a competitor, and people got to see that.
They want to see it.
Yeah,
you know
what I'm saying?
Games ago when you're like your rookie year.
We got to the playoffs. I remember we
Okay.
played Toronto. We took them to 7 games, bro. Yeah, we lost in game 7, so we had to have won high 40s,
plus,
something like that. Because I was with Paul George, Monte Ellis, Rodney Stuckey, CJ Miles.
I forgot you would have overlapped.
Paul George.
George,
How was
George
that?
Hill was there
How
too.
was
Yeah,
that,
that's
Paul
my
George at Indiana? Paul George though,
bro. So it was interesting, bro, because PG, he was coming back from his injury. My first year, remember he broke his leg in the USA thing. He rehabbed 1 year, and then he was his first year back when I was there. So one, as a vet, like I rock with PG, bro. Like he was, you know, he was a good vet. He personally, you know, he tried to make it to where he tried to explain to me that is, you know, about the league itself. Like, you know, how one, like you just said, it's a very unforgiving business. You got to come in here and just, you know, make yourself who you are. But for me, it was also cool because it was like, man, this is Paul fucking George. Like, he's a superstar, bro. I was just watching him 2 years ago, my senior in high school. You know what I mean? So I was a little starstruck at first, honestly. Just, you know, and then, you know, that's another thing he kind of like got me to snap out of too. Was like, hey, bro, this is the league. Like, you know, it don't matter who you was idolizing 2-3 years ago, man. Like this, these are all your rivals now, you know? So I think it was good for me to come into the league and see a superstar, you know what I mean? Because I got to watch the way he worked. Like when he was a tireless worker, I definitely give him credit there. But 2, watch the way he carried himself, man. He was in all the commercials. He had the signature shoe. He was on the cover of 2K. So see what it meant to be a star early, you know what I mean? So I think that was pretty dope. And I just like the way he carried himself. So.
I think guys can always learn from vets. Like when you have teams that are like crazy young and it's a bunch of guys fresh out of college, like there's generally like it just doesn't go as well. But when you have a vet to look up to, that always in any sport.
I think that's amazing, and I think it's and not to throw anybody under the. I think it's missing nowadays in the NBA. I feel like
absolutely, bro.
That's really missing in the NBA because like we were having this conversation with somebody. And we're like, you know the chips we put on the chips thing, chips thing that they count how fast you run, how tired you are, etc. And I remember I got drafted when the chips was the thing that was coming in.
It was coming out, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing.
I remember. Yeah.
You know, like 2013, 14, 15, it wasn't like all the time, right? So, and how much the NBA has changed. Like I was thinking about when it comes to the vets, when it comes to basketball. Like, when was the last time any team run floppy? That floppy used to be
bro, I was just thinking about this the other day. That's funny. The floppy, that exact set. Yeah,
it used to be like
that's funny.
The way like shooters would come off, shoot it, or if they don't shoot it,
just thinking about this. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Pass it to the post, and then you play from there. So I do think like it's changed, but I think the most important change is into how younger leagues become, which is okay. You want that, but at the same time, you want this happy medium to have guys who. Not only does one, but to tell guys what to look out for because it's tough business.
Man. It's the culture.
In and out. Like you want that vet to tell like the young guy, like, hey, listen, you got to try to sub in. If they tell you to get out, cool. It's the team's agenda, the rotation and everything. But you got to try to sub in. Don't sit on the sideline.
No, man. You got to run up there. I was just telling Mark that the other day, our rookie. You know what I mean? He got his name called. he was kind of sitting there just, undoing it. So I said, nigga, run your ass up there, bro. Do that shit up there. Because I'm telling you right now, you get stuck up there. And they don't, in the NBA, they don't let you, just for the ones that don't know, if you want to sub in, you got to get your ass up there because if there's a dead ball, they can let you in a dead ball. But if you're not up there in time, the ref can look at you and be like, nope, you got to wait. You could be sitting there for another 5 to 6 minutes, and you spoke on this the other day.
Exactly.
That's your opportunity right there.
It happened to me twice, bro. And I was hot. First of all, you couldn't even tell I was hot, but I was fuming because now I got up there, and you expect a foul to happen or something to foul. And then you got up there at, let's say, 6 minutes to go. You're like, oh, shit, I'm finna get 6 good minutes. I'm finna make something happen. All of a sudden, 45 seconds. I'm like, nah. Now you averaging 8, 7 points. Now you ain't in for 45 seconds. Now you averaging 3. Like, no, bro. Like, this is the thing about staying ready in the NBA and what to bring you bring to the table. But this is another thing, too. Do you think it's because of how the league is structured into having more younger guys trying to teach them trying to let them learn on their own, or is it because I
like this question.
Or is it because of the vets not understanding this is their part now? You know what I mean?
I can answer that. Yeah, I like this question a lot because one, the culture of our league has changed so much, bro. I think that a lot of vets are very sour when it comes to the business of things, right? They feel like they come in and it's like, man, I was owed this. I was supposed to get this, and that. Now this young punk's coming in getting 80 more million than I was supposed to get. So a lot of it's on some hate shit, bro. Honestly, I'm not saying this is all vets.
No.
But
I agree with you.
Happen. It's like
it's hard to accept it's hard to accept a lesser role or a role like, hey, you can come in here and we want you to teach these young guys. We want you to cheer them on, whatever the case might be. They think
they should still be playing. You know what I mean? If you got those guys that come in, now it's like, why would I teach this young punk? You know what I mean? If I'm the one that's supposed to be out there.
And you know what's so crazy? But this is my thing, right? Mm-hmm. My thing is if there are guys like that, cool. You don't want to have them in your team, cool. But there's other guys who are total opposite. Like when I had Wesley Matthews, bro, you don't understand. Like this man would talk about defense, teach me the tricks of the trade. Like, hey, when out in the post, you give him the left shoulder and you push him down.
That's a good vet.
You know what I mean? That's we had Kyle Korver. We had all these vets that wanted to give back. Wanted to be like, you know what? I'll accept this, man. I'm cool with that.
We had that with James Johnson. James Johnson was a great vet.
This is what I'm trying to say. Udonis Haslem. Like, they should try to reward that more and more. And with that being said, I'm not only talking about monetary. I'm talking about in general, like saying, hey, you have a place in our organization, bro. Because you're really doing this. You're being selfless and you're doing this even though we know you're a competitor, even though we know you want to still play, and you're taking this role into leading this, for next 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever that might be, leading these guys to the next level because we got to build for our future. Because some teams really don't want to win right now.
I agree.
They want to win 2028. They want to win 2020.
We got to get the vets to stop, and again, not all vets, not speaking to all vets.
No.
Get the vets to stop coming in with this mentality of like, well, he'll figure it out. It's not my responsibility. Like, bro, when we signed that contract, you have honestly, in my opinion, you have a God-given responsibility to give back to the game.
Oh, 100%.
This game has given you so much. This game has provided you such an amazing life. So you have to give back to it in whatever way that may be, whether it's the extra work, whether it's, coming in on a podcast like this and speaking the game or talking to the younger generation. I think it's just something that comes with it, but not everybody accepts that responsibility.
And I understand why it's hard. Just the whole thing, but they have to. And the other thing too is that, again, like the competition was when you were 20, 25, 30, let's say 30. But now you're 35, bro, 36. They ain't no, why are you competing with a 22-year-old? Like, no, seriously, why are you competing with there's no reason to compete with that. The thing is, you be like, hey, this is what we do. This is how you carry yourself. This is what we do out on the court, off the court, in the court. So
the Bucks are in good hands. So I'm just
the Bucks are in good hands. We straight here.
We're sitting here being able to, because we see this a lot in other sports too. Like especially in football, you have guys in the locker room who make 50, and you have guys who are on special teams making vet minimum, whatever that is, because they have it's a straight up hard cap. Like there's no owners can pay more or whatever. So you see this a ton in football, but to hear guys who are actively in it, knowing you're taking care of the younger generations, showing them the way, teaching them the game that way, like a lot of people can learn from this last 5 minutes here.
No, but this is the most important thing is now, because it's missing. Now it's you know how many stories I used to hear like, hey man, even my vets, I used to go to New York City. He used to take them all the time. That you don't hear that stories no more. You don't hear hey, vets used to take care of me. They never let me pay. They, you know what I'm saying? They always, you don't hear that no more. You know what I'm saying? That's now we had to do this even more and more with other guys. But now going back to the draft process, I want to ask you my draft process. I definitely got into it with a lot of guys in my draft process. And I did the combine, but I did the combine. I did certain workouts that was all in small forwards, and we were getting into it. We would throw bows, elbows, hard fouls. I remember Charlotte. I don't want to say the names, but Charlotte they actually stopped the workout. And Mr. Ewing was like, "Bro, what y'all doing? What y'all doing?
Y'all fighting for your lives, man. That's how it's supposed to be."
Exactly.
Well, that's what people who've been in it say. Summer league can be more competitive than some of the stuff you'll do, whether it's in training camp, because you have, what is it now, 15 on a summer league roster, one, maybe two is going to end up, that's not drafted,
of course,
is going to end up on that roster. It gets competitive out there.
That's how it's supposed to be, man.
How was did you get into it with anybody? Was it smooth? Was it chill? Or you was this is just me?
I had one workout in Denver, and again, I won't say names, but I had one workout in Denver as well, where I think one is Denver, right? So the altitude is kicking out there.
That's true.
It's tough.
And Utah, the same thing, bro.
Yeah, Utah for sure. I had a draft workout there too. If you don't know what to expect, man, So we had, I think it was 6 of us. We had 3 guys go, "Oh, I'm injured. And just bowed out of the workout. And to me, I was like, what the hell? This is life-changing opportunity here. You're going to, all right, whatever, cool. Bro. So now you go from a workout of, 6 people to 3? It got competitive quick.
Oh, yeah.
And mind you, it was me and 2 other guards. So now we're doing full court one-on-ones, a full court dribbling the ball, and I'm having to figure it out, and we're going at each other. It was a lot, bro. So we didn't necessarily I ain't getting nobody's face. It wasn't no shoving contest, but it just got real competitive, bro, because we all wanted that spot, bro. You know what I mean? And but again, that's how it's supposed to be. You're fighting for your life at the end of the day. So man, it was crazy.
That's what you know what it is. That's what takes you to the NBA. What keeps you there? That spirit.
So do you want to?
I do have another question, but let's go. I want to take away from the draft and go back a little bit to us, right?
Yeah,
so I want to go back to a little bit us doing the Pacers Milwaukee.
Yeah, let's do it.
Thing. So I want you to talk about a little bit about the incident with the ball.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
where's the ball?
I knew that.
Listen.
I knew that was coming.
I have
bro.
to.
Bro, that was so funny to me, bro, because we after the game, bro, I usually, I'll say what's up to people here and there, but I'm usually back to the locker room because I start my process or whatever, right? So I saw everything going down on the TV, the in feed, the arena in feed, whatever. I saw Giannis sprint to the back, and I was like, what the hell? And then I'm like Paul Revere in there, bro. I come back, yo, some shit's going down. I rallied the troops with him. We went out there. It's a shit show, bro. All the food is there. People are picking up throwing the food trays and shit. I see one of y'all's coaches in a headlock. I'm like, shit.
Yeah. But this was the crazy part. The crazy part was that I know it's to everybody's defense, every team's defense, right? Everybody wants to get competitive. Everybody wants to do their thing. But to me, I was like, why is this even happening, bro?
Y'all had the ball the whole time.
Yes.
That was the craziest part about it.
That was the craziest part.
DC had the ball the whole time.
But now 2 clicks behind was the competitive nature of hey, we're not going to do this and you're not going to do this and we don't care, about this. And I'm like, guys, it's not even that serious. This guy just scored and this guy just scored and, all of these things and I'm thinking wow, these guys are, okay, let's do this. Mind you, none of these guys, apart from maybe 1 or 2, maybe 1.5, let's say, one guy, everybody else is cool as F. We ain't got no. You see, Obi, they're like this. We going like this. You see the other guys, me and Pascal, African, but we're like this. James Johnson, me and James, we're like.
Yeah, same thing. I was kind of playing peacemaker.
Yeah. Yes, I'm like, why is this even happening? Now, this was going to be my question. Do you really think the NBA is like WWE, fake beefs sometimes?
Bro, you see all these cameras right here,
yes.
bro? But at the end of the day, bro, that's what it's all about, bro. Guys have egos. Guys have brands. Guys have stuff they want to protect. Some guys got to be the tough guy. Then you go outside and see him on the court. It's like, hey, man, how's it going? Like, that's how it is, bro, for real. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some guys that are really about it.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes, I agree.
But it's very few. It's like maybe 5% of the smaller than that league that's really going to do something. One, no one's throwing a punch in an NBA game. You do that, you know you're suspended. You know you're fine. No one wants to pay that bread, right?
Why would you want to? And I've been guilty of this, by the way. Don't take this video and go look at my. I've been guilty of this. I've got into it with
you
people.
You can get into it.
No,
fine.
but
yeah.
But I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, we all playing for our families. We're all playing to kind of build our way up to do what we were supposed to do, right? Because we all think this is a true story. And whoever is playing professional, not just the NBA, right? Playing professional sports. They all think they were born to do this. Like, we were born to do this. Like, we're like,
work for this shit, partner.
Yeah. So this was gonna be my next question, because even with Tyrese, bro, we in Wisconsin, and I want people to like Tyrese, and I want people to root for him because he's from Wisconsin, bro. He's from Milwaukee.
He makes it hard on himself.
Yeah.
Well, you saw this recently. I know you'll get to your question.
Where?
Game 5.
Yeah.
So people want to root for him. I called his high school. I was in college.
Yeah.
Called his high school state championship.
Yeah. Wow.
And I remember he went for 30. 18 of 18 from the free throw line, and I didn't really know he was only like a 2 or 3 star guy.
Right.
But I knew guys at Iowa State who had gone there, and I was just like, "Oh, y'all are getting a good one." Like, and I just thought he'd be a really good guard, right?
Yes.
So we've been rooting for him for years. College career, Game 5, Brewers Cubs.
Yeah.
Pacers have a preseason game.
Yeah.
This man is wearing a Cubs jersey on the
Boy,
bench.
Okay.
Troll.
Yeah.
And then he took out a Dodger jersey the very next game.
Okay. He's just poking. That's different. Like,
I was gonna say,
he's
I
building
know the
this.
story.
That's just part of his personality, bro.
Yeah.
First of all, he's a troll. Like he
he's
enjoys
picking
that
up
he enjoys that type of stuff, bro. He likes to be like that little annoying, like, I think they call it a heel, right?
Yeah,
They call it like a heel or something. Like he enjoys and embraces that role. Now, I do think that at times he got pushed into that just because of the perception, how people were talking about him and how he's had to carry himself. But he definitely embodies that, bro. He's gonna be the annoying one in practice who's talking shit or just doing like nana boo boo like type of shit. You know what I mean? That's just how he is. You know. But I mean, again,
but in this podcast, I want us to say good stuff about him. I want people to like. So give me 3 nice things. Tell me three nice
things about Tyrese.
Well, first and foremost, bro, like you got to respect the way he's handled himself in his career. You know what I mean? Like coming from Sacramento and coming from that situation, it's a heartbreaking thing. You know, you think you're about to be the face of the franchise. Then you come to Indiana and damn near reinvent yourself, bro, through everything. So one, you can't like his professionalism, the way he carries himself, you can't really just like, shit on that because, that's just what he's, made himself to be. Mm-hmm. 2, as a teammate, bro, like he's a hell of a teammate, bro. He's, we talk about how you're supposed to, as a team, come together and have camaraderie. Bro, he's setting up all the team dinner. He's setting up all the team parties. Like he wants people like to be together. Like he definitely like embodies that, if you will. Yes. And then 3rd, when it comes to the family, bro, I mean, he's very close with his. You know what I'm saying? Like you've seen how it is and whatnot. Like he's about his family and whatnot. Yes. And man, it's hard. He makes it hard on himself to root for him just because of the shit that he does at times. But as a competitor, bro, you got to respect the way he rocks. So.
Sure. I've always said like he's one of those guys. If he's like Joakim Noah was like this, Grayson Allen was like this. If he is on your team, you love him.
Right.
You love him.
Yeah.
That's
I got 100%. I agree 100%.
If he goes against your team, he could just look the wrong way at the camera and it irritates you.
Well, I can see that, bro. I just feel like Tyrese also, he knows he's protected too. So he can go out there, talk his shit, say whatever the hell he wants to do, and then, he knows he has backup at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. Now, 100%. He's not going to be talking the same shit if you're in the middle of the street or whatever the fuck.
No.
Like, that's what guys are doing in this league.
Yeah, that is what I'm trying to say. Like, we all meet each other. Now, obviously, mind you, we're engaged most of the time, but like when we meet each other outside of, everybody's everybody's polite, everybody's nice. Now, there could be beefs before. I've seen that. Especially the old school. They were different.
Old school, yeah.
They were different. But now, like,
bro, it's a brotherhood, man. There's only 450 of us. There's only 5,000 of us all time.
We learned that on an episode last year, maybe like around wintertime last year. We were going through, I forgot how it came up, and I looked and I had to like triple check the number.
Yeah. Bro, when we're on the court, like, of course we're trying to bust you. Like, I'm trying to bust your ass. That's how it is. Yes. But off the floor, man, I want you to win, bro. Like, I think it's amazing that, like, one, that you've made it to this league, but two, bro, I want your family to be straight. I want you to get as much money out of this shit that you can, bro. There's people at the top, of this league that's getting all the money. Why can't we get it too?
Exactly.
So take this shit, spin it, do whatever the hell you want to do, and just have a hell of a career after this. So I root for brothers in this league, man. I really do. But on the floor, yeah, we're competitors. It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. You couldn't have said it better. Like, this is exactly how you should feel on the court.
The Tyrese thing, real quick. We all do know the Cubs-Dodgers deal. Yeah. So he was supposed to throw out a first pitch for the Brewers.
Yeah.
But then Indiana, I think this was in 20. Oh, were you?
Yeah.
So I think in 2024, after they beat the Bucks, the Brewers were like, actually, no, we don't.
He was excited. He was a Brewers Wisconsin guy.
The Brewers took the opportunity away.
Oh no, they shouldn't.
They hold him. They hold him for sure. Yeah. He was really excited.
No,
so now I honestly, like, as a huge Brewers fan, I know you got your barrel man hat. Like, I find it hilarious.
Looking back on it, bro, funny. It's funny. Like, if you look at what actually like went down and whatnot,
makes sense. It makes sense.
He was talking about something on the bus. He was like, he was so excited to throw the first pitch out. He was talking about going home and everything. And then obviously, we had the beef. We know we beat you all in the playoffs. But it's not even. And Brewers like, nah.
You know what? When he's healthy, they listen to this podcast over there. When he's healthy,
I want to get him on the show. I swear to God, I'm gonna get, like, when we play him.
Y'all got some things to talk about. I mean,
yeah, so much, and I'm rooting for him and for special reasons. Like, we had the same injury. I'm like, I just want him to come back, man, to be healthy and be on the court, man. Bro, you know what I mean? Okay, so now let's stay away from basketball a little bit. Okay. I want you to give me your Cats Mount Rushmore.
I love this question.
Oh, wow.
Either real cats or like fictional cats. Yeah. I don't care. Like, give me your Mount Rushmore of cats.
Well, I gotta throw my cat up there now. Casper, he's on there for sure. He's an Egyptian Mao, and like a tabby mix. He's
Egyptian Mao.
Yeah, Egyptian Mao. It's a very one of the rare breeds of cats and whatnot. And he's badass, man. He's so chill, bro. Like, he loves people.
How did you like?
Well, I can't take all the credit. It's my girlfriend's cat.
Oh, go.
You know what I mean? So I'm a stepfather. So I kind of came in and just played that role. But I grew up with cats. Okay. I've always liked cats more than I like dogs. Okay. It's just kind of,
But why is that?
Well, there's a couple reasons. Like, one, I think that, well, first of all, dogs work for the police. We'll start there.
Dogs do snitch. They are trained to snitch.
But not for real, bro. Cats are dope, bro. Because one, there's like a very like just a healing like type of the animal to have around. Right? They protect you in ways that you don't even know about. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna get too woo woo, but like, when it comes to spiritual realm and all that type of stuff, cats,
okay.
Definitely protects you. In a way that you may not even know what's going on. They see things that you can't necessarily see and whatnot. When a cat purrs, there's a frequency that comes out with that purr, and it's actually a very healing thing. Yeah. It's very healing on a deeper level and whatnot. So if a cat is just sitting on you, you're petting it, purrs and whatnot, it's doing more for than you really think it is on a different level. I also think that cats in general, bro, the maintenance is easy. Like, once a week I'm taking out the litter as opposed to having to take a dog out 3 times a day to go piss or whatever, do whatever he needs to do. Cat's gonna do his own thing, bro. You fill up his food bowl, man. You give him some love. He's gonna be chill.
So when y'all have back-to-backs and you got a second night on the road, you just fill up the food. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Come home the next day,
for sure.
Fine.
Like, and he take care of himself. Whereas a dog, you have to be there constantly for him and do everything for him. And then lastly, I just kind of like the way cats, treat male cats. Male cats and female cats are very different. Female cats are very protective. They don't necessarily like get along with the cats. Whereas male cats, they're a little bit different, a little more chill. So yeah.
First of all, people who are cat people are going to listen to this and be like, oh, be ecstatic. And be like, oh, sure.
That's like the most controversial thing I've ever said on the radio. All the stuff that I've ever said is that I'm way more of a cat person than a dog person. Yeah, and the phone lines would light up. People just being like, you're a terrible
well, because there's actually... people who say that, it's like, oh, you're soft, or you're this, you're that. It's like, that's cool, man.
No, I don't.
You can think what you think, but at the same time, like, I'm just thinking on a much deeper level, if you will. I have nothing against dogs. I think dogs are sick. They do their thing. I just personally prefer cats. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is. So you said Casper.
Anyone else make the Mount Rushmore?
So you said Casper.
You got to throw Garfield in there.
Garfield, yes.
You have to, because went up there. I actually read the little comic strips with my grandfather was growing up, and we got the newspaper and all that type of stuff.
That's cool.
Let's see here. What are some?
You can be big cats, small cats, man. However you want to. Cousins of cats, just give it a bro.
Leopards are very underrated, bro. Everybody goes to lions, this and that. Leopards are badass, bro. If you really look up a leopard, the way they hunt, the way they creep, like, and how big they are, I throw them in there. They're pretty sick. Okay. And then lastly, I'm gonna go Cat in the Hat, man. Shout out Dr.
That's
Seuss,
a
dog.
good-
Yeah, shout out
in the
Dr.
Hat.
Seuss. There's
it.
a Mike Myers film where he portrayed the Cat in the Hat, and that was one of my a movie growing up that was. It's really weird to watch it now, but as a kid, it was pretty dope.
No,
There's
I like that. I like
Mount
that.
Rushmore cats.
I like that. I like that.
Garfield, Cat in the Hat,
Yes.
Leopards,
Yes.
and
Casper.
Casper.
Got
All
to
right.
him in there.
Do you like good example? Like, do you see yourself having more than one cat, or is this like okay, just Casper? You see yourself-
Don't let my girlfriend see this. She definitely wants another cat. But no, man, I see myself when I settle down and whatnot. I envision having like a cat and a dog. I think with cats and dogs, they do get along if you make them get along from a young age, right? I live in a condo now. I have no space for a dog to run around and do its thing. But eventually, when I slow down and I have land, and I can let the dog do its thing. Cool, I'd like to have a dog, but I'd always have a cat around too because I just like I like the way they carry themselves and they kind of just take care of the crib.
What is okay? You said when you slow down. What is slow down for Myles Turner? Like, what is this after basketball? Like, what is your? By the way, I know something you don't know, Tony. I want to say this before we get to. He's gonna have a podcast with Brianna Stewart.
Really?
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, that's a good plug. Good plug right there,
That's
bro.
awesome.
Yeah, man. This is it's actually a really cool opportunity. I always saw.
What is the name gonna be?
So it's called Game Recognized Game. It's going to be with iHeartMedia.
Please, whenever it comes out, please share, like, subscribe to the show. Like they're
bro,
gonna,
show
what I'm
love,
saying?
show love, man. It's just, I'm new to the podcast space. I enjoy being a guest, but I'm gonna have my own now.
Trust me.
Again, it's gonna be with iHeartMedia with Brianna Stewart. It's called Game Recognized Game, and I think it's dope, man, because it's never been done before. You have an NBA player and a WNBA player collabing and whatnot, and we're both speaking on both sides of the ball. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that there's a lot of great takes, from our side of things.
Yeah.
But then you have the platform of Brianna Stewart, who's obviously one of the best
She's a
players
legend,
in the
hands
league.
down.
To speak from her side as well. So again, I think it's a really cool opportunity, and please, man, tap in.
Yeah, give us a little bit more. Like, is it gonna be weekly? Is it gonna be like what is it gonna be? Are you guys gonna talk only about basketball, or you give it a little bit of?
It's gonna be both. So the biggest pull to the show for me is having both perspectives of basketball,
Yes.
but of course we're gonna talk about life and just our different upbringings, both of our journeys. We're gonna have guests on the show as well. I
She's
believe
so
it's gonna
good
be
with
monthly.
media too.
Yeah, we're gonna-
you have
yeah.
a great.
We're
co-host
gonna be your
there.
first subscriber watch when this like comes out. Like,
Yeah.
You said game recognized game.
Yeah,
yeah, making this game.
yeah.
I like that.
There are 40 million podcasts in the world, and that name wasn't taken.
I guess not,
That's
bro.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
No.
Trademarking that. Hold on, trademarking that right now.
Trademark that right now. Thank God this is not
I'm sure
live,
the
so you're
company's
good.
got you covered. I'm just like,
Thanks.
every type of sports thing has been used in name, but it's a great name. That's why I was just surprised it wasn't
no,
used
it's-
yet.
No, I'm really
It's
excited for the
dope.
opportunity, man. I think it's gonna be dope, and again, it's gonna be two different perspectives going into. We're gonna talk about everything that's going on, and it's dope, man. Because obviously, it'll be me in season, her off season, and vice versa.
This is
Love that.
probably starting next 2-3 weeks or month. Or
Next
2
couple
months?
months, so I think
Okay, okay.
we're gonna our preliminary stuff out the way now. Then as the season starts to roll, it'll be out there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay, so now going back to life a little bit for Myles Turner, like what is slowing down? What is after the basketball? Is it business? Is it your, kind of fix your kind of groove? Like what is it like, or is it stay away from everything, just sit all day? Like what is your slow down or?
It's interesting, man, because I had this question. Chris Bosch is a friend of mine. We live pretty close to each other.
That's a good friend to have.
Texas. Yeah, we're both from Dallas, Texas. We both had the same trainer. He's just someone who's always showed love. And I asked him that same question. I was like, man, what am I gonna do after basketball? This and that. And he was like, bro, dude, slow down. He's like, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Like, that's the beauty. You don't have to just right now say, I'm going to do this after basketball. I'm going to do this. You can literally, he said, you can be a chef for a week, and then you can go, if you really want to be a construction worker the next week, and it is that you have the resource and opportunity to do whatever the hell you want to do. So I really liked what he said there, and I kind of embodied that. So I think for me personally, I love to travel, bro.
Yeah.
I love to travel. I would absolutely love to come to Greece.
Oh no! This is already even this extent that he knows this even before the show. Like before, like he already knows. You would you would be. Trust me, you would love it.
Yeah, no, I do. I love immersing myself in different cultures and whatnot. Whether it's a cuisine, the people, the language, like all that type of stuff. I've always found interest in that. So I think one of the first things I do is travel. One of the big things I'm really big on is land. I want to make sure I secure land, whether it's, a cottage, whether it's a ranch, just whatever it may be. And just maybe if I need to go out there and chill for a little bit, get away from the world, I can, and unplug. But I actually really enjoy investing, bro. Investing and watching my money work for itself and whatnot. You know, whether
that
it's
is
far, like, you know,
that's a great sport right there. That's a different sport, but it's a great sport right there. You know,
for sure, man.
Do you have some? Okay,
that competitive fire you talked about earlier, that hits in that world too.
Yeah,
it's hidden.
Do you and not to however details you feel comfortable talking about, but like, do you have something specific that you like to invest? Like, is it let's say example real estate? Is it stocks? Is it what is your kind of investing?
Yeah, of course. Well, I have I'm in the stock market as well.
Okay.
Just like every NBA player watching this should be in the stock market. Like, you don't want to have too much liquid money. That money needs to be working for you. You need to go ahead and put that out there. Put stuff in the money market. Talk to your financial advisor, whoever it is, and put your money into the money market. Like, let it work in your sleep. But for me personally, bro, I love investing in talent. Talent is a thing for me, bro. I love seeing talent from afar, whatever that talent may be. Some people have an eye and a talent for interior design, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So if they, mind you, it's hard to invest in people. But again, I think it's really lucrative to invest in talent. When you see talent from afar and you're able to harbor that from afar, I think it's really fucking cool what can happen once that talent meets that opportunity and it creates an idea for itself.
So are we talking about paintings? Are we talking about music? Are we talking about anything?
There you go. Anything that has to do with the talent itself. Once you recognize, bro, we're talented individuals in this league. So again, it's almost a game recognized game situation, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you see that from afar, I'm gonna invest a little bit here. I'm gonna diversify, invest here, invest here, invest here. Now, there are safer investments. One of the things I like to do is invest in real estate, commercial real estate though. Yeah. I think a lot of people like to invest in houses and whatnot or rental properties, and that's great, But there's a lot that comes with that upkeep and whatnot. When you start getting funds able to invest in commercial real estate, like these big buildings that you see in Milwaukee or downtown areas or whatnot, now you're paying people to come in and rent and lease that space every single year, and it's more passive income that's coming into you.
Yeah, I do think it's a big thing. Like recognizing what's the three areas. What is the active investment that you're actively doing? You're in the business. What is the passive investment? Like with you, okay, I'm just sitting at home and my money generating money. Yeah. And what is the kind of vision, creative, and I would say not only legacy, but the vision, creative, and not hobby, but like that makes you feel good. Because we talk about talent, it does see something grow and something like it does make you feel good. Like, hey man, this is great. I invested in this guy's paintings before nobody knew, and this guy's blowing up now, so I'm feeling good about it.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I'm glad you spoke to that because there's when you have money coming in right now, right? Because when we're done playing, obviously the checks aren't going to look the same, right?
Yeah.
So you can take a little more risk now if you really want to. So if you do see, like you said, an artist or someone like that, someone who might potentially blow up for everybody else, and then you have the connections, whether it's through your agency, through relationships, to put this person on.
Yeah.
Cool. But you do have to have secure investments, right? When you reach a certain level of wealth, you can do the fund investments and all that type of stuff, but you have to have active, secure investments because, you want to see that money come into you, whether it's a 5-year return or, even down the line for 10-year return, but, something that's going to, for sure you're going to get your money back.
100%.
Like all athletes or young people coming in through college, especially because, you didn't get to experience this, but with NIL money now, some of these college athletes are bringing in unbelievable amounts, and even if it's a smaller amount, like say you signed to a school for $300,000, that's still a significant amount of money, especially from between ages 18 and 22. And some of these colleges need to direct some of these student athletes.
How do y'all feel about the NIL space, man? That's a good topic.
So I think first of all, I feel like it's a blessing in disguise. Like it's a lot of kids who are going to make a lot of money, as they should, because you never know if they're ever going to leave college and become a pro. So it's going to be great for them. I do believe it's about time, because a lot of colleges have been taking this kind of
free labor.
No, I don't want to say free labor. It's a little bit harsh as a word, but it is close to it. Kind of taking a seat back because they were okay with it. It's like whatever. If the law is the same, we just keep it the same. But I feel it's taking away a lot for the love of basketball. What do I mean by that, right? Which always happens when
you're on something.
Yeah, when money is involved, it always happens, right? And you try to keep the motivation. But what I'm saying is, for the young age, when you go to, you remember when it was like those are my ride and dies. Like I'm going to that school because I want to win for that school, and that school is gonna love me, and I'm gonna be an alumni, and I'm gonna be this guy. But now I'm going to that school, get paid, go to the next school, get paid. Like you become this. You become a pro basically.
Yeah, you're a pro.
You know, you're all about business.
You get paid your
But at that time, it's not. That's not what you're. That's not how it's supposed to be.
But
I love
you know what I mean?
Right now. Yeah. Just to second that, I'm in the same space as you, bro. So I will never be someone who will block a blessing. I think it's amazing that these kids are able to make life-changing money for themselves and their families. But we had to train so hard, bro, and sacrifice so much to get to a space when we were coming up, right? And you can speak to this because, you know, being on the European side of things, that is the reason that these kids overseas are starting to overtake these kids in America. And you're starting to see more and more draft prospects from overseas than you'll see in America. Because if you're incentivized at 13 years old to start making some money and getting an agent at 14, you're right. You take your foot off that gas pedal a little bit more and you start to get a little more comfortable. Where these kids are hungry overseas, bro, and they're training 2 to 3 times a day, nonstop. The professionals at 15, like barely getting paid. Trying to make it. Bro. You know what I mean? Trying to make it. And now you got millions of dollars at 18. $5 million.
It's not even that. What happened to the, you know, like I remember like people, you know why people love our story and stuff like that is because it's the trenches. What happened to the stories? Like the NBA used to be, I'm not even joking. That was the NBA thing. That was the sports thing, like the trenches, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And not the trenches only. I was like, I live in a bad neighborhood. It's like I'm working with my dad in my garage all day.
Yeah.
I gotta make it because I'm eating ramen noodles every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
your story of just even being hurt going into your junior year of high school is now going to become a
obsolete.
Rare one. Because now at this point, like if you're in 7th and 8th grade, like you have an idea or coaches have an idea about you, there's already rankings. Like, 7 years before graduation.
100%.
There's rankings. AAU circuit is insane. And now, like Wisconsin, I think just passed. You can now make money in high school in Wisconsin.
That's unreal, bro.
That's OD. As they should. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy. Don't get me wrong again.
Of course.
I'm happy. I just feel like the more you go through the trenches, through the obstacles, the more you're gonna make later. Like the more you're gonna be ready.
Character building.
When somebody punches you in the face, you're gonna be like, no, they didn't punch me so many times. I'm ready to rock. Like I know this. But
that's like most jobs too, right? So like if you're just a normal student, you're in school, you're an intern for some, I don't know, let's just say for some accountant firm, right?
Yeah.
In summers, you're making $15, $20 an hour. You're grinding your way to your degree. And then when you get in that field, grinding your way through, right? If I'm an intern and I'm making, let's just say even $60,000 over the course of, guess what I'm doing? No, I'm chilling.
I'm telling you, why would you have the hunger to be the CEO if you're an intern and you're making so much money?
Exactly.
Where would the hunger come from? Saying like, I want to build my way up into, you'd be like, no, I'm actually good. I actually don't need that much. Or I'm actually like.
And then also not being taught what to do with any of this crazy amount of money you're getting at 18. That's where I think the schools are screwing a lot of this up. Where like
I do believe one more thing though. I do believe there's gonna be it's gonna be not a big percentage, but it's gonna be some kids that are gonna know what to do from the early age with their money, and this is gonna create more and more like this gap of wealth because once you learn the thing about investing and that sport, you understand it's all the time now. Yeah. If you know what to do, it's only time. Now you just gotta wait.
Yeah, and it's you'll be fortunate enough to have some kids that are gonna know what to do with it. Like I think I saw a kid from North Carolina invest in like was it a Ben and Jerry's or not a Ben and Jerry's? It was a chain
of some sort.
Is it a franchise?
Yeah, it was a franchise. I don't remember what the franchise was, but it was a very popular franchise. Like bro, you start investing in stuff like that or franchising at what 18 years old or something like that. Like that's unreal, bro. That's how it's supposed to be. But then you have some kids that are going to take that money. They look at all these rappers, these influencers and whatnot. You're going to spend that shit on a Lamborghini, something that's going to fucking depreciate as soon as you get it, and start buying a whole bunch of jewelry, a whole bunch of chains, all type of stuff, all these depreciating assets, and not know that you're giving the money right back to the people that gave it to you. You know what I mean?
Back to the people that gave it to you.
I saw an interview.
That's so crazy. That's so like on the spot.
I think it was Marshawn Lynch. He was. Because like he has a reputation for whatever, but he's like very smart. Obviously, he is very good with his money. I think it was him. He was in an interview and he said, when we get rookies that come into the league, like as you guys have probably seen in the locker rooms, like in football, jewelers will come into the locker room. They'll go around. And he's like, "I'll take my rookies over. You're gonna give this jeweler 15 racks. You're gonna go talk to your investment advisor, and you're gonna give them 30."
Yes.
And he's like, I would sit people down and be like, "If you're gonna buy this car." which depreciates by 30% when you drive it off the lot. We're going to go talk to this advisor too. So like everything you pay for, you better be prepared to invest double. And
Exactly.
That's so smart, man.
This is man, and know what's the saddest? A lot of sad part about like seeing this is a lot of vets, even playing or not playing, have done these mistakes before. So it's easy for them to just say,
hey,
hey, don't do that.
Like, can you imagine getting to the NBA and spending $40,000 on Nerf guns?
Wait, hold on. I did want to ask you about that.
Absolutely.
So wait, is this because I click on ChatGPT and it said that you spent 40,000 on Nerf gun?
It wasn't 40,000, bro. They was gassing.
This is why we check. That number popped up.
It was
And I was like, we
gassing,
gotta
bro. I definitely spent some bread, my rookie year because again, bro, like I was a big kid, bro, and like I literally was like, I can buy any toy I've ever wanted to buy ever. Yeah, like you know what I mean. So obviously bought a whole bunch of Lego, then bought the Nerf guns, and just bro, I just had a ball, but I just had a time, and it's just just made my own fun.
That had to be so much fun though.
Oh, sick, bro. I had my boys over, had a whole bunch of wars and whatnot. It was what it was supposed to be, man. It was every teenager's dream basically. So it was sick.
This is man. This is what I'm trying to say. Like when I was younger, first of all, I was drinking soda. I used to be like, when I get money, I'm gonna have like soda out of my tap. Like I'm a tap water instead of being tap water, it's gonna be soda. Like how like kids, you're a kid, you're like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do or that. But then growing up, you're like, man, it's so many things that obviously way more important than that. You understand health and just your family and connections. Because people all the time, and this is a teaching moment. Sorry for people who are watching and listening, is that you don't understand how much like relationship and connections matter because. At the end of the day, when you're down with basketball, you're 50 and 60, like you really want to have these people around you. You want to have your team. You want to have your tribe, right? Your people, right? And those matter. And I think like a lot of the things that been going after 2020 and the bubble and this whole kind of like isolation, like you can do it, just lock everybody out, just stay like this. I don't think it's it might be some way for some people, but I don't think that's the way. For everybody. I feel like, connection, support, like the team, you know what I'm saying? Camaraderie has built like people's careers, people's legacies, people's life, people, like I say this all the time. And you remember you were asking me about partners and why do you invest with guys? The most stuff I've ever made, it was because I gave it away because I was like, hey, come invest with us, come do this with us. Because like we can be friends, but once we make money as well, like bro, we're gonna be friends for life. Like you're gonna be like, yeah, that's my like we I'm saying 50, 60, 70, like we still business partners, we still, I'm saying, friends, and my kids know your kids, and my nephews know your nephews, and blah, 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 this thing. So do you envision kind of building your own tribe and doing your thing?
Beautiful, man. I think that was very well put. It's like, I say it all the time, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Yeah.
This is a very much a favor-driven industry, bro. Right? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. If you go to some of these investors and whatnot and say, hey man, I'll give you and your son tickets to this game and whatnot. Yeah. You never know what that might turn into in the future. Now it's like, hey man, I remember that favor you did for me a couple years ago. Hey, here's an opportunity, bro. I remember, I think I was with Paul George and I forget. I think it was like a car dealership or something like that, or one of those. We was a season ticket holders, right? And I was a rookie. And, PG, I knew everybody. So he just basically introduced me to people, hey, this is such and such, hey, this is such and hey, this is such and such. And I took that very seriously. I'm shaking people's hands, I'm looking in the aisle, I'm like, hey, man, Myles Turner, new to town, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 years later, it turned into a car deal. You know what I mean? Just because I met this person. It was Fisher Imports, I met this person there at this season ticket holder event. So, yeah, I definitely, as I'm transitioning, out of the league, and I still have quite a few years to go. But
100%. You had a lot of years to go. A lot of years to go.
Couple championships, maybe a decade or so left. Yeah.
On the way out, though, you take those relationships that you leverage. You go to the golf outings and all that type of stuff that we have. Like, the front office, the owner, our team owners and whatnot, they're going to put us in rooms because people want to know us, bro. As
100%.
athletes, people want to know what we're about.
Yep.
You take advantage of that. Now it's like, okay, well, I want to know you too. You know what I'm saying? Let me get your business card. Let me, maybe we rap in the future. You just never know. So
100%.
Again, something like this podcast or whatnot, you have sponsors or whatnot.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You meet these people all the time, and then you never know what they can turn into. One day it's like, hey, I want to have a podcast. Oh, yeah, we'd love to sponsor you. Like, you just never know what it may turn into. So to answer your question, bro, yeah, I definitely want to have a tribe of people, but I believe for the people, I'm not sure if you guys were talking overseas or whatnot, but with the earth or whatever, right? You have the core.
Yeah.
then you have the outer core.
Yep.
Right? Then you got the mantle.
I like how you put it in.
You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? So you see what I'm going for, right? So your core, obviously, it's gonna be the closest people, you know, to you, whatnot, whether it be your lady, your family, whoever, you know, your immediate family, whatever you want to be. Then you have that, you know, that outer core and whatnot. That's gonna be, you know, the people that make you go, that make you rock and whatnot. You know, for me personally, that's like, you know, what is my business manager, you know, business or people with my agent, you know, people that I keep there. Then you have that outer core or whatever, right now, right? And then those are the people that it's like, you know, you're cool with them from afar. Like I might talk to you once every couple of weeks or whatnot. And then you have the crust, which is all the fans and all the people that they're important to, that you show love to. But I'm not necessarily talking to these guys every single day. You know
It's almost impossible. How do can you? It's almost impossible to talk to them. But you put it right on the spot. Like I do think like everybody, especially for athletes, should have that kind of mentality. And one of the other things I always say all the time, because you know they ask us like, hey, how do you guys kind of do your thing? And I'm like, there's no magic formula. But like when it comes to business, when it comes to kind of the core, you kind of want to be with the people you really trust with your life. Like this is not even an over exaggeration. Like you trust to, you know, be in the same circle of who you are and be open with them. And at the same time, if they can become something across the other core as well, that is amazing. That's great. You know, that's a big bonus. You know, but you shouldn't necessarily fight to do that. Now, and you should always kind of try to get everybody's strongest part. You shouldn't say like, hey, I'll give you an example.
It's gotta be beneficial.
Yeah.
Mutualistic.
If I'm not good with numbers, as an example, I should not be our family's accountant. Right? No, seriously.
Fair enough.
But if I'm creative enough or I have a vision or stuff like that, I should definitely be like, okay, he's doing all the. If I'm good on negotiating, he's doing all the deals with negotiation, whatever, because that's what I'm good at.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, I really do believe that that is the way you build exceptional wealth, and not wealth as a monetary, but mind as well as spirit.
Yeah.
Because you really leave this with certain people, and you build for the next generation, etc.
Yeah. Good talk, bro. Yeah.
Okay, going away from it, because you know obviously I don't want to. I hate ending the show. I hate, but you know, Myles, like we got practice, we got all these things to do.
Things to do.
But I'm gonna ask you two things. Last thing before the last option, two things. So one is like, do you have a quote? Do you have something that like you like? Man, this keeps me going. I think about this. Like, you know, do you have a quote that's like, nah, this stood out to me? And
it's a very basic quote, but it's something that me and my family, it's been a mantra of ours.
Yeah.
You know, what we live by, it's everything happens for a reason. I mean, I'm sure everybody's heard that, but what that means to other people doesn't necessarily, you know, it's not necessarily what it means to me. You know what I mean? I think that everything in my life has been so consistent and has worked out the way it's supposed to, because I've never really douded, you know, God's timing. I've never really doubted His process. You know what I mean? You know, Jehovah God has blessed me since I've been from a very young age, blessed my family, and I feel like our family is the Turner family, that we have a very specific way of doing things. There's a way that we treat people. You know, we believe in the karmic cycle, because that stuff comes back to you, whatnot. So as long as you are doing your will, and you may not know what the right answer may be all the time, but you know, if you're guided the right way, you know you're on the right path, right? So I personally think everything does happen for a reason, and I cannot see that. When I broke my ankle, I didn't know why that happened. I was so frustrated, I was so mad, but it set me on a much different path. And then from then on, I became even such a more believer. You know what I mean? I was raised in faith, but after that situation, like I became so much more believer. So everything happens for a reason. This is a big one for me.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And the last thing is mostly about like our Bucks fans. You know, a lot of people. First of all, a lot of people in Greece, a lot of people Bucks fans, a lot of people in Wisconsin. Like, you know, like it's not what you see on just YouTube, right? Because it's audio. They listen to the radio. Like how often they play our.
A lot.
Yeah, they will play the whole episode in the radio, stuff like that. What is something that you want to let the Bucks know about you, and what could they expect like from you? And obviously, you've said this multiple times, but it's mostly like, you know.
Yeah, bro. I think for me, you know, I'm really about the right shit, bro. And I can say that as much as I want to, but it's almost gonna be more me showing y'all. But like, bro, I have no literally outside motivation, or I have literally no other like. There's no ego that comes involved. Like, I want to win, bro. I got this close, bro. This close to like fulfilling my dreams, bro. I was one half away. I played 102 games. I was one half away from being an NBA champion. And I literally, it just like faded right from my very eyes. You know what I mean? So I have like no other motivation but to win, bro. And I feel like this organization has experienced that before, very recently, and then trying to get back to that mountaintop. And like, bro, like there's nothing else like in me or through the power vested in me. Like that's all I want. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's very easy to say that, but like you got to feel me on this one, bro. I was this close, bro.
You know, I can't end the show. I'm sorry. I can't end the show. Give me more, 2 more. You got to give me.
Because I got to follow up with
that.
Yeah.
You got to give me 2 more. Because like the next question I was going to ask you, like, what went through your head when Tyrese went down, bro?
I think that it was a gut punch, for the entire team. I think when it happened, we all knew what it was right away. You know what I mean? We all knew what it was.
I think people on TV knew what it was.
Yeah.
Too. Like we were, especially for me, I saw it that you asked Tony. I was so upset, bro.
Yeah.
So upset.
So yeah, I mean, it was in our heads. It was like, well, shit. It's we have no choice but basketball go. I'll go out there and try to win it for him. You know what I mean? And then I think the momentum definitely shifted a little bit. After that happened, we went into halftime. We were up at halftime. You know what I mean? And we still were like, yeah, rah. But then when we saw him back there, kind of like dejected, just kind of down, I think it definitely it messed up our psyche and our spirit. But there's no excuses in this sport, man. You know what I mean? Everybody straps on, laces them up the same way. You have to be very, as very lucky to win an NBA Finals, bro.
Amen to that. You gotta be hard working and lucky.
You can do everything right, bro. You can do everything right. Prepare the right way, and just one little turn, can happen. But it was unfortunate, and it was definitely one of those things where the energy shifted, big time.
Happens for a reason, man. Happens for a reason. Hopefully, when we get there.
Well, I know just from conversations with guys that are in your locker room, you're not the only one, obviously, who and some with NBA championships that want to win it again. That motivation is there. Yeah. You're sitting next to one of them.
No,
you might
100%.
be related to another one.
Yeah.
I claim that, bro. I definitely think I wouldn't be here, if I didn't see the potential for it. Right? Obviously it was very lucrative, obviously, for me to come here, financially and all that type of stuff. But I would not.
But you could be anywhere. You could be anywhere, bro.
Exactly.
This is when you're that type of player, you could get that anywhere you went in the league. Yet, you know what I'm saying? You chose to believe in this project. You chose to believe in the team. So all we got to do is get it done.
Yeah, I mean, you could just tell right off the bat whether it's the Packers game or the love of beer, but like out on the court and that mentality, like you would told me in a million years, especially with the last couple seasons, that when I went to go grab this today, we'd see Turner on the back of a Bucks jersey. Like, never.
By the way, we're looking. We would love for you to sign this if you can.
Absolutely.
To give it as a giveaway for the fans when the episode comes out. Yeah,
absolutely, bro.
Well, stay tuned to the socials to see how we're going to give that away this season. Real quick, I know you might have another one.
No, I don't have nothing.
All right,
man.
let's finish it with this one.
Go for it.
Just outside of it took you 30 minutes.
I told you, bro.
Once you did that, can you show the camera? Once you did that,
bro, for sure.
Look at Myles and look at mine. Look at mine.
That's a make, bro.
You know what we're gonna do with the time lapse video just on you, building that over the. In an interview, I think it might have been a post game or a quick hitter the other day. You said Giannis is going to change your life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For this pod, expand on that a little bit for me.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think that that was my first time playing with him. You know what I mean? Obviously he was getting over COVID and whatnot coming into camp, so he wasn't on much in like the live periods. But bro, just the gravity that man has it's unreal, bro. I mean, it's just gravity is a huge term in this league. Not a lot of guys in this league. Maybe you can count on two hands like how many guys in this league have actual gravity. Like I saw what he did for Brooks' career. You know what I mean? Brooke obviously was an amazing piece to the championship.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100%.
Piece of what y'all did here, and obviously took care of his body and was able to be out there. But I saw what he did for him, and I just in that game we played together, just the space I had, like it felt like I was shooting the ball too much. Like guys on the team.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Guys on the team having to go like, "Yo, Myles, what the fuck are you doing? Like, shoot the ball.
Shoot the ball. No, you're not.
We saw those
crazy,
percentages.
bro.
You're good. Keep shooting it.
It's funny, bro, because that wasn't my mentality in the past. In the past, it was like I have to go out here, I have to share the love, I have to distribute the ball. This is that. Whereas now it's like, no, we need you to go out here and score. We need you to go out there and hoop. So like it's just that's kind of what I meant by that quote. Like he's about to change my life. It's like he's changing not only my position, but the way I think, the way I see the game, the way I have to prepare for the game. You know what I mean? And I think it's really cool to be in alignment with someone who wants to win, works as hard as he does. Like I see he's a tireless worker, but still have that motivation. After winning a championship, because I'm trying to get what he has. Yeah.
100%. We can end the show there. Please follow Myles on his socials. I don't know, Instagram, Twitter, X, like everything. It's called X. I'm sorry, X.
Yeah, X.
Everything. Follow his journey. He's an amazing guy. Please go when this comes out. Go spam his account with like deer emojis and Greek flags.
Show some love, man.
Show some love. You know, follow him. When his podcast come out, please like, subscribe to his podcast. Thank you so much for showing love. This is season 3. Season 3 has been amazing. You know, we grew up so much. We've almost 80,000 and 100,000 followers in just the show. Not even, you know, I don't count everything. Mm-hmm. You know, you guys are the driving force of the show. Please, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thanalysis out.